We've heard a lot about staying alert and stopping the spread. Now we're being urged to do the same with invasive plants.
This is Himalayan balsam. Now I have to say it does look pretty spectacular when it's out in flower. The problem with it is it spreads so rapidly, it doesn't take long for it to completely take over.
It's a trait shared with other invasive plants like floating pennywort and Japanese knotweed. Monitoring them is expensive and time-consuming, although perhaps not for much longer. Here in the Midlands, scientists are trialling new technology. They're using artificial intelligence to survey plants along the roadside and identify the invasive ones to work out where they're spreading. It's essentially a track and trace system for plants.
Typically you need an ecologist to do a survey along a road or along a route. An ecologist can do, say, 10 miles in a day. With the technology that we've got at the moment, we can potentially do 120 to 130 miles in the same amount of time. So that's the idea, and eventually, hopefully, you can map the UK.
It's one thing tracking down invasive plants we already know about, but quite another to find those that may be a problem in the future. Many of our gardens are bursting with non-native species, and the vast majority are a cause for celebration rather than concern. That said, we all have one or two we wish we'd never planted, or that we can't seem to get rid of, whatever we do.
Here's an example of the fish plant. It's very pretty, but difficult to control in gardens.
Dr. Katarina Den-Smuts from Coventry University is behind Plant Alert, a new citizen science project. She wants us to go online to report any plants in our gardens which have a tendency to take over. By doing so, we could help to identify invasive species before they become a problem.
The number of ornamental species we cultivate here has increased also over the last 50 years quite a lot, and gardening is becoming more popular, so these plants get more and more planted and so get higher chances also to escape from gardens. So that's why I think we need to keep an eye on it.
Our gardens could well be harbouring the invasive plants of the future, perhaps the next Himalayan balsam or Japanese knotweed. The challenge for scientists is keeping on top of what is quite literally a growing problem. Lauren Hall, ITV News.